We flew these people all the way to London to count, and telling me half of them are going home and have no say-so or control of their game at all? At least red light, green light, you had some control. I mean, you got to play. Some people got out in the first round, but you still got to play. You got to move a little bit. You got to see a set. They didn't even get to see a set. They just went into another room. I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. I did not like this game. I did not like the way they did it. I thought it was lazy. I thought it was cheap. I thought, man, you got this big budget, but you're not going to use it. What is poppin', y'all? We are officially back. It is your boy DeAndre, and it is time to get into the madness. Squid Game, the challenge. As you can see, I'm rocking the merch. We outside. Now, I did do a player preview, but it got kind of messed up, and I don't know if I want to redo the whole 456 again because we went through every single one. But today is a special day. You know, I was on Squid Game, the challenge, but this time I am a viewer only and have no connections with none of these people, so I can really give my unbiased take on everything. It's time, y'all. It's time. We got some new tech. We in a new place. It's time to get to it so we can get some new views up in here. Let's get it, and you going to get the best breakdown of this show that you have ever seen. It's time for the Way Podcast, man. It's time. Welcome. If you're new here, I appreciate you. If you've been here once or twice before, thank you for returning. We are reviewing Squid Game, the Challenge Season 2. Season 2, man. I can't believe it's been that long since I've been on the show. And after watching the first 2 episodes, it's a lot different. It's a very different game. It's a lot of different strategy going on. But is it for the better? Is it? Because I wasn't a fan of everything going down in episode 1 and 2. I'm just going to be quite frank with y'all right now. The easy passes that's been given out, the pass go and collect $200, I don't know if it's swinging my way. You know, it's just swinging left. And that's not the way that I hope the show is going, because I didn't even see it on top 10 Netflix today. That's a red flag. You know, there's just something different about this show that I'm gonna have to break down with y'all. That some is good, but some ain't so good. And I personally think that they should have kept red light, green light in the game. That is a fan favorite. That is the game of the show, period. And if you're not going to put red light, green light, do something similar to that to get people to actually earn their spot and not just go all the way to do this show based on a coin flip, because that's basically what the first game was a coin flip. I ain't like all that. I ain't like all that in the least bit, but I digress. We're going to get into it, y'all. Now, before I get into it, before I dive into episode 1, I will be doing reviews over episodes every 2 episodes. So like today will be 1 and 2, tomorrow 3 and 4, etc., etc. And we will be getting some player interviews as well. I'm excited about those. You know, those was a hit last time. I did pregame or when the show came out, and then I did a year later, and I'll do this season, of course. And we'll see what we can get. You know, I don't know the cast this time, so it's going to be a little more tricky to get a hold of these people. But if you are watching this and you are in season 2, please come tell your story, because I want to hear it. The people need to hear it. We all need to hear it, because we know there's a lot of things that the cameras did not pick up and that they did not show on TV. But we're going to get right into it, y'all. Squid Game, Squid Game the Challenge, Season 2, Episode 1, 6 Legs. So it starts out with the montages we get of the people. You get the twins, you get some people, you know, and if you pay attention, these people in this montage, they're going to be the characters, a lot of the characters that's going to speak for the show. Like, that just is what it is. Like, they're not going to put these characters in these montages if they're not going to be featured in the show for the most part, or at least in some way, shape, or form. I mean, just look at season 1. Everyone that was featured in the beginning promo had some kind of recognition in the show. That's just said and done. So go back and watch it if you want to know who's going to be featured. Spoiler alert. Well, kind of spoiler, but just little tidbits, little nuggets there. You know what I mean? We got a set of twins. and they're already in the dorms right off the bat. So look. In season 1, you had to do red light, green light first. We were in hotels. We stayed in a hotel 3, 4, 5, 6, some people 7 days. They probably stayed in hotels before they went in the dorms for a few days. Now the quarantine is different. That was filmed in 2022, and things have changed. Things have changed. 2023, things have changed. COVID is no longer a thing, so the testing protocols probably went down a lot. Therefore, they were maybe on the hotels for 3 days, So going straight into the dorms, that would change a lot. Now, who's to say how long they were in there? That's for the players to answer and not me. But I'm assuming they were in the dorms for a few hours, and then they went to the first game. But it was just interesting that they get to all see it first. I guess, not everybody in season 1 got to see the dorms, and that's, if you didn't see the dorms, you really barely wasn't even on the show for real. You got to see the one set, and that was it. So I'm glad they all got to see the dorms. I am happy about that. However, the front man comes out. He says, okay, I need 2 volunteers to come on out of here. Nobody wants to go up. Now, the name of the game is to stay low. You already got to put yourself out there. If you want some TV time, go ahead. But something is suspicious because the twins decide to go up and they want to split up. Now, you're telling me that they would decide 2 twins, and there's a lot of twin sets in here. The Netflix loves their twins now this season. I think we had like 3 in our season. They got at least 10 in this one. And brother, sis, like a lot of family relatives up in here. A lot. I feel like everyone got a relative. But the twins go up, and you're telling me that one goes up there, they both go up there, and they're expecting them both to make it out? It sounds a little fishy. And also, Squid Game, they have their people, their high-profile people, that they prefer to make it far. Now, they can't control everything in this game. I do not believe the game is rigged in any way, shape, or form, but they have some pushing power on who they want to advance. I mean, I did a little look on all the bios of people, and we got a lot of influencers on this cast. A lot. A whole lot. And maybe they knew something that everybody else didn't know. Who knows? But it's just fishy that they were able to get up there and they will make it out after, they both make it out. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But anyways, one is on X and one is on O. I don't know what they thought, but, they want to take a risk, and I think they were here because they want to get their shine on. Everyone must divide evenly into X's and O's. Divide that by 2. There you go. And then one group goes in one room, and one group stays in the dorms. X's and O's split up. And the game is counting. You are going to count until you get to 456 seconds, and whoever gets the closest wins. And if you go over, you are out. That's the best we could come up with, Squid Game. That's the best we could come up with. Yeah. What's going on, man? We're counting? Really? We flew these people all the way to London to count. And telling me half of them are going home and have no say-so or control of their game at all? At least red light, green light, you had some control. I mean, you got to play. Some people got out in the first round, but you still got to play. You got to move a little bit. You got to see a set. They didn't even get to see a set. They just went in another room. Ooh, I'd be hot. I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. I'm going to tell you right now, I did not like this game. I did not like the way they did it. I thought it was lazy. I thought it was cheap. I thought, man, you got this big budget, but you're not going to use it. Season 1 was a hit. And this is the follow-up we get? No. I don't know. Y'all shouldn't. I mean, maybe the red light, green light set was too expensive to put back up. I don't know. But y'all, come on now. Come on now. If we redoing games, you can't redo a red light, green light. We're just going to do counting? For real? Ridiculous, y'all. So counting is the game. Whoever gets the closest wins. So they tried, this brother that says, He said, these bitches gonna get us killed, man. We gotta be careful, man. And there's one Australian dude that gives some inspirational speech, and they kind of like, look, dude, we ain't got time for the humbo jumbo Disney Plus speeches. We need this for real, for real. You gonna get us set up and sent us to the shadow realm. And so 205, Ida steps up for circles to count. And so Ida, a sister, older sister, she decides to be the one to carry that burden. And she says, do not, and then two other people are helping her out. And she says, do not blame them if they don't make it. So that is already a red flag. If you already saying, you know, I mean, if you're not confident, then they'll go up there. So I don't know why she went up there in the first place. That was definitely not the smart move. I definitely think somebody should have stepped up, because if that was me in there, let me do the count. You know, I mean, if we lose, we lose. But if we win, we're good. So I don't know why people were so nervous to step up to the plate when there was really nothing to lose, because the game's out of your hands if you don't do it. And if you do lose, then you just lost. Like, I don't understand why there was such a commotion. There wasn't like a fight to get to see who can do it. And maybe we didn't see that. But Ida starts counting late, very late, and she's way off. She's counting real slow. She's clapping all beat. Everything is just going haywire with this group, with the blue circles. And the blue circles team tells the twin that's so each of the twins, they're the ones that's got to press the button. Everybody else is just sitting around, or we got to counter. And so they're telling the twins, like, hey, bro, like, she counting off. You need to listen to us, because other people were counting. And I feel like in the room that there was a good amount of people counting, and she was just doing her own thing. And once they found out she started late, they're like, nah, like, we got to do it on ourselves. So she kind of was irrelevant. I don't even feel like they were looking at her for half the time. They just did dramatic effect. And everyone's lives is in the hands of the counters and the button pressers. So we get through it. Red X hits the button, blue X hits the button, blue circle hits the button. And I didn't like this part either, because the guards come out and say one got it by 2 seconds and the other was 12. Now, how are we supposed to know that they ain't tricking us, man? How? How do we know that they split the teams up? They took a look at each room, all the cameras. There's a whole bunch of cameras. This group is probably, we want this group to go more than this group. This group has more people that we want than this other group. We don't know, man. We truly don't know. They could have lied to us and said these 2 seconds and 12 seconds. Now, they're obliged to tell us what's really going down. And look, I'm a conspiracy merchant. I have to say these things because they need to be said. Who's to say that they didn't flip-flop it? Who's to say it was 2 and 12 seconds? Who's to say? Where's the proof at, man? Where's the proof at, man? It's just kind of like when red light, green light, people wanted to go see the tapes and they didn't move. There was a lot of fishy business going on in red light, green light. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of fishy business going on. But if you moved for the most part. For the most part. I can't speak on those who got out, but if you moved, you moved. I've seen people move and they got out. But on this, we're depending on an invisible timer. Very fishy to me. That's just fishy to me. I think it was definitely some looking at the peoples, looking at the crows in the room and seeing which ones that they wanted to keep in their cage and which one they wanted to let go. But anywho, they press the buttons and the blue team all dies just like that. Boom, we lose half the cast in the first 10 minutes of the show. Kind of like red light, green light. But red light, green light was more dramatic and definitely had more cinematic effects rather than just slow motion people falling on the ground. I would have been so pissed I wouldn't even fell on the ground, to be honest. Just like I didn't. I'm a real one, you know? But yes. And this part I didn't like either. There's a lot of parts in this first episode I did not like. They all die, but then we find out that 431, so it's 432 and 431. These are the twins from the UK. He survives because he volunteered. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Okay. That's what we doing. I don't think that's fair in the least bit. This game isn't fair, but come on now. Come on now. Really? Like, I feel like they're just giving all the power to these twins. I feel like they're just, I mean, so far they're catering the game to the twins. Everything that they do, you know, they got the golden touch. They got the golden goose. You know, they got the Midas touch. Everything they touch turns to gold at this point. and everything they say to everybody flies. So what is really going on? Because in our season, that was not the case. People, the people that was talking and doing the things, boot, 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 boot. That's what was going down. These dudes started off from the jump on top, and they just been smooth sailing for the first 2 episodes. Crazy to me. People are clocking them, but nobody's doing nothing about it. Nothing. But yes, we meet Jacob, and there are content creators from Bristol, UK, 432 and 431. He tells us that he had a seizure and he had a brain tumor. And so all respects to him, Jacob, I'm glad you well and whatnot. That is nothing to play with. So definitely had a serious condition. I'm glad he's still with us today. But 431 shows up to the dorms and they tell them that now his mission is to eliminate 3 people. And if he doesn't do it, then him and his brother are eliminated. I always wanted a brother. Do not talk next to my brother. The brothers, excuse me. But yes, their mission is to eliminate 3 people. And all they have to do is go up to him and say, good luck in the game. And then they're eliminated. Now, tell me that ain't an overpowered twist. That's overpowered, bro. You can eliminate anybody. And I ain't done with them, too. Look. These twins, I'm sorry. Y'all not my favorite characters right now. Just based off what I've been seeing going on. Y'all getting too much power. And then what y'all doing with the power is just like, what? And so basically, they're going around hand in hand, not straying away from each other. They're interviewing everybody, basically. They're going up to and asking them, hey, why are you here? What are you doing? And they're trying to do this moral high ground of saying, okay, whoever's here for a real reason, we're going to keep you, and whoever's not here for the best reason, we're going to let you go. But that's up to their discretion. They're the ones playing God in this circumstance. We're going to pick who lives and who dies based on what you tell us and what we think about it. No. I wasn't a big fan of this because, look, everyone has their own reasons, but everyone's reason doesn't have to be so serious. Is it a bad thing for somebody to say, hey, I want the money because I want to have some fun? Not always has to be a super charitable thing. Maybe they've had a hard life and they want to live and relax a little bit. Maybe they've had a struggle growing up and they've never had a day off in their lives of working, their adult lives, and they want to go on a yacht and chill. Is that such a bad thing? Or does it always have to be a sob story of someone who is just, has these aches and pains in their lives and just like is the most downtrodden? Is that all we doing? Like, come on now. I mean, I understand, but just because someone wants to have a good time, that's a good reason to eliminate them. Now, maybe if someone said they were rich already, there you go. But if you're going to give the money to a rich person, but they said, oh, my mother just passed away, but I need the money, but I'm already rich. Other than a person who don't got no money and they just they want to take some time off and ease their bones from working the shift every 9 to 5, 6, 7 days a week. But you're going to punish them because they want to take a little time off. Okay. That's what we doing. Oops, what did I do? But anyways, yes, they're interviewing people and they go up to this black girl, 107, and she says she would rent a super yacht for her friends. That's cool to me. Look, get a super yacht for your friends. That's being generous. And they're like, yeah, we're definitely eliminating her because she doesn't have a good enough reason. That's lame as hell, man. I'm sorry. That's lame. I feel bad for 107, man. Shout out 107. So they say they're going to eliminate her, which they do. They say good luck in the game. That's all she wrote. And her homie says that he hopes that they don't get eliminated for something stupid. Well, that was a stupid way to go out. I don't like how they're just eliminating people and giving the power to other players right off the bat for not doing anything. He lost the game, but he gets the power to eliminate 3 people. That makes no sense. How you gonna give the power to somebody who lost? Like, what, bro? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yes, people are sussing them out, saying like, oh, they're being suspicious. They're walking around, this, that, and the third. I would have said the same thing. You know what I mean? And so we meet another Brit, number 118, or Australian, sorry, Jonty. He is an Aussie, and he's a funny dude. He's definitely giving me Lorenzo vibes from season 1, kind of just out there doing his own thing. But yeah, very very charismatic dude. He's a funny guy. Some people don't like him, but I think he's spicing it up a little bit in the joyful and bountiful nature. So I like Jonty. They're going to eliminate, and they say they're going to eliminate the bald guy who says he's going to have a Star Wars wedding, number 100, Mark. And we meet Mark, and do we ever meet Mark? We see Mark, and he's the main character of the first 2 episodes. The main character. We'll see if he survives on the cliffhanger, but we'll get there. But yes, Mark is seems like a fun guy who works at a game shop or like anime store or something like that. He's very into sci-fi and probably wizardry and Harry Potter and all these things and whatnot. But he's a funny dude, man. Mark, he's a sensitive guy, it seems like. He seems like he's very much of a person who wears his heart on his sleeve. And, he wants to have a Star Wars wedding and other things and whatnot. And, he said he wants to rent out Disneyland and talks about his wife that he loves. And he says they're both nerds. And the twins went up to him and they were sussing him out. And they're like, we definitely going to eliminate him. But then he started talking to them and they're like, oh, he's too nice. He's too nice. The judge, the jury, and the executioner. Oh, but this guy's too nice to eliminate. But what the other 107 wasn't that nice. She just said she wanted to rent a yacht. That sounds pretty nice to me. I want to hear the behind the scenes conversations. And I'm going to work on getting 107 up in here and see what she really said. But yes, they decide not to, and so soon we meet Kurt 370 and Zoe 369, and they are father and daughter. And the twins soon are told that they only have 5 minutes left to choose. And so they heard like, all right, we got to hurry up and pick somebody. Don't even matter who at this point. But it does matter who to them. Because soon they decide to go up to 285 and 286 for basically no reason. 2 brothers, by the way. And they decide to eliminate them too. And so, yes, those 3 are eliminated. 107, 285, and 286. So you going to tell me you going to eliminate 3 black people for no reason? That's what we doing again this season, y'all. That's what we doing. Now, look. Some people could say I'm reaching, but I'm just telling it as it is. That's just facts. That's just facts, man. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look. I don't like that at all, man. I don't like it in the least bit. I'm not even playing. Like, they got eliminated for nothing, and it's all black people. Not a good look, man. Not a good look. But yes, the results are shown. 227 are eliminated so far. The picky bank blows up, and the twins get outed for eliminating 3 players. 107 gets popped in front of everyone, the same as 285 and 286. Terrible. I feel bad for them. I got to get them all up in the pod. But soon the brother figures out that 431 was the one that had to vote them out, and Trinity is his name that figures it out. And soon it's time for the next game. They walk through the staircase. They get in the white room, where I got eliminated. Ugh, that white room. Ugh. Squid Game. I need my redo. 288. Look, man. I don't know where the 288 was in this season. I ain't see him or her. But 288, the OG 288. We ready, man. We ready. Or we're just ready to go review another season. Who knows? But you already know what time I'm on. But yes, they get in the white room, and they must divide into groups of 10. So 283 and 72 are brother and sister. I like that they didn't put the numbers right next to each other. I do like that they finally did that, because in our season, they put all the twins, the brothers, the sisters, the moms, the dads next to each other. And so we meet Sydney, 16, is a makeup artist, and she describes herself as a spoiled girl. And the next game is six-legged pentathlon. We've all played this game in birthday parties growing up, school field days, the whole nine. Everyone's done a 6-legged pentathlon, but not for $4.56 million. And so each group is divided into 2 teams. And they get into 10 and divide into 2. The guard just splits them down the middle. That kind of sucks. And then only one team will survive from each group. So it's like, damn, that sucks. You picked all your friends to be with, and then boom, you're out. I mean, half of them is out. That's rough. That's Squid Game though. That's more of like the random draw that Squid Game is, not giving the power to somebody who lost. But I didn't see anybody who lost this game get the power to stay. Wonder why? Because they're not the favorites. That's just me, though. That's just me. But yes, 16 says discomfort is important to grow. I agree with that. So each team will play 5 games. First game is ball in a cup. Second game is the long strike, where you throw the throw it and hit the block. Third game is gongi with the dice. Fourth is House of Cards. You stack the cards up. And fifth is jeji, where you kick the hacky sack looking thing. Losers gets eliminated. And so everyone in each group must participate. Now, for me, I actually practiced some of these. Yeah, a lot of them practiced. I know they did because they watched season 2. And, you watch season 2, which I did not do. I did not practice season 1 games. I was just kind of like, whatever, which I should have did, but it is what it is. The season 1, these games are a little more specific, though. So it was good to practice these, especially gongi. I did practice that. Now, House of Cards, they were not prepared for that because in the original, it was 6 games, I believe. And like one of the games in season 2 was like, what was one of the games? I don't remember what one of the games was, but it definitely wasn't the House of Cards. It was something else. Yeah, it wasn't that. It was something else. I can't remember. But yes, the games are a little bit different. So some of the group we start with the first group and we see the first 2 groups go. One group decides to jump. It's working. I like the jumping technique. It's not too far to jump either. But yeah, they get the balls in. They go through the first group, panicking. It's kind of funny. They're really getting specific, but this is 4-3-2's group. And he's been practicing gongi. I'll give him that, man. He did his homework. He got it pretty easily. And the stacking the cards is the hardest one by far. You get the stacking cards one, you better have calm hands. Now, I think I could do it. Now, I ain't gonna practice right now, but I have like these business cards of mine, the Way Network. Make sure y'all check it out. I can stack 2 right now. No problem. It's kind of hard to see. I'm messing. There we go. I already stacked 2. Now you can't see it. I've already stacked 2 that quick. Now, it's a little more tricky than that, but you stack 2, stack 2. You know what? I might have to try this. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can stack these real quick. Y'all can't see it, but a brother's actually getting this. I already stacked. Hold on. Where's y'all? This is not hard at all. Hold on. I can do this game, man. I can do this game. I would have won. I would have done the cards for sure. But yes, they do the cards and whatnot. This, that, and the third. And so we get through it, and 4-3-2's game team wins essentially. We get a montage of a lot of teams doing it. We don't get to see specifics who wins and who loses on all of them. It's just a whole bunch going out. And that's the other thing is like, this game is cool and all, but I wish there was a way we could follow it real specifically because in Squid Game season 1, we couldn't follow everyone who passed and failed red light, green light, but we got to see specific numbers who got out. And whatchamacallit, Dalgana, we got to see a lot of the specific numbers get out at one by one, but they're just popping everybody at once and we don't get to see it. It wasn't, we got to see the circles go, the triangles go, the stars go, and the umbrellas go. And we got to focus on each group. Marbles, we got to focus on each pair. Battleship, we got to kind of see a lot of each group. So like so far it's just like a lot of people getting popped and we're not getting to recognize too many people. Like I feel like we've barely known anyone except the twins and Mark, number 100. Those are the main 2 in episode 1. And so, yeah, they're all acting out. They're dying. It's pretty funny. And this girl crumpled up the cards and made it virtually impossible to stack. I'm like, girl, she crumpled it up. And so you couldn't even stack it. I'm like, what are you doing? She panicked. She definitely crashed out. And the cliffhanger in episode 1 is to see if the daughter made it. But lucky for us, we watched 2 episodes. And so episode 2 is titled The Catch. Now, episode 1, I'm going to give episode 1, I'm sorry, I'm giving it a 5.5 out of 10. The only 0.5 is because they did a good job with the cliffhanger, But it wasn't that great. We didn't get to meet that many players. They was being, the twins eliminated only black folk. The twins got an unfair advantage by one of them surviving the first game, and they got an unfair advantage of eliminating 3 people. Like, what? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Overpowered. I don't think anybody had that overpowered of a thing in our game, our season, except maybe no. I'm trying to think if somebody had that overpowered of a gift, and it was only with the Jack in the Box where you got to eliminate multiple people, but you had to take a risk and put yourself out there, or you could have got eliminated. So it wasn't really all that in a bag of chips either. Like they weren't It was just a lot, bro. It was just a lot, and that was late. That was like episode 4, 5, 6, whatever. But anyways, we left off with Zoe and her dad watching everyone compete, and they're making it all about them too. And 193 is messing up Ganji on Zoe's team. They're focusing a lot on this Zoe girl, but we gonna skip past this because it's just this girl. But yes, her team did win. Obviously, I've seen that coming. And yes, we move on to the next day with the morning music. Ugh, PTSD. And so we find 100 Mark. He's trying to make some more friends. Mark is the main character at this point. And soon we meet Viper 152. I like Viper, man. It's a cool name, too. He didn't get any sleep, he says. And so we get some more frontman footage. And soon the frontman opens this secret door. Now, we didn't have a secret door. And the secret door is this maintenance room where they have like a machine with like candy in it, the vending machine. In the vending machine, you got all different sweets and whatnot, and you need tokens to get what you want. And the 272 Ryan comes out and sells everyone. Oh my gosh, there's candy, there's this, there's that, and the third. Look, if I was the 4 people that went in there, I wouldn't have said nothing. Mom's the word in this game. The more you open your mouth, the more of a target you are. 432 or 272 reminds me of a guy named Andy from our season. He was pretty boisterous and whatnot, but they kind of give me the same vibe from each other. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hydrated. 7-2's talking a lot. The key of the game is not to talk if you want to win, but you also want to get a little screen time too. Like, look, I don't blame the people who's talking. I don't. Because if it was up to me, I would have started causing a fuss more too. The chances of you winning the game are very lucky at this point. Like they're all lucky to just be here. They're all very lucky to just be here. Let's just be quite frank. Okay, we could have a whole different show going on right now. There could be no Mark. There could be no. Well, there would be twins still because they automatically would survive the game. That's why I don't like the first twist. But the twins would have always inevitably be there. And I guess it was smart because they like one of them guaranteed to make it, and the other one, they're giving themselves the best chance, and they don't want them both to go home. So I understand that aspect of it, but just letting them both live, it is what it is, though. But yes, they find the candy machine. Ryan tells everyone about it, and they all should get a cookie. Get a cookie. You want a cookie? You want a cookie? You want a cookie? I'm like, are you the gingerbread man? Like, what are you doing? This man is trying to get everybody Hansel and Gretel, and I wouldn't trust it either. But soon the guards come out, and now they say there's a vote, and they announce that the slowest players in each game must come up to the stands, and so each individual that had the slowest on their game, that's had to go up, and the numbers were 180, 89, 40, 344, and 289. Everyone must now vote to either save or eliminate them. I don't like this either, y'all. This is lame. Are you serious? Like, what are we doing, Squid Game? This is lazy. And it's like, look. Squid Game season 1 had something like this where everyone was in the line and you pressed the number who you wanted to eliminate. That was a thing. You had to eliminate 3 people. But at least they had a chance to discuss. I don't know if they had a chance. They didn't have a chance to discuss. They were just up there because they were the slowest. So that would be like the last 5 people in red light, green light. We're going to put them up here. And if they're eliminated, we're going to vote to see who eliminate them. If we want to eliminate them or not. Or the last 5 people who got Dalgana done or took the longest, we're going to see if we want to eliminate or keep them. Like, there was nothing like that, bro. There was nothing like that. The vote out was just based on a social game. This is not based on no social game. This is just randomly picking 5 of the slowest people because they wanted to get rid of them because of whatever reason. Yeah, more brothers and sisters up there, too. I didn't like it, y'all. I think it was lame. I think it was so lame. So lame. But yes, obviously they're going to eliminate them. Why would you keep them? But they're voting in player number from highest to lowest. 89 thinks that they'll have his back because he counted the first test, bro. That don't mean nothing, man. You could have counted for them. You could have prayed for them. You could have spit shine their shoes. It didn't matter. They was going to eliminate you, man. Why would they keep people? Why would you keep people? Unless you just said, hey, y'all, you bestowed Christ upon them or something like that. Maybe, bro, they wasn't keeping you. So I don't even know where the hope was at. It's everyone for themselves. Like, come on now. So 455 is the first to vote, and he votes X, and 451 votes Circle because she has integrity, she says. 432, of course, votes X along with his brother, and they're slowly getting voted out. The X's are piling up. So Janti 188 or 118 once said he wants to keep a sweet image and fake cries when he votes X. And it's funny because some people are like skipping up there and like acting stupid and dancing up there when they vote. I'm like, y'all are scandalous. And karma's coming for y'all that was doing that. Karma's coming for y'all. I didn't get to see the numbers, but karma's coming for y'all who wants to gloat in front of these people who are very, very just unlucky because they finished slowly. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it could have easily been anybody. They could have said the 5 fastest people. Are we going to choose to keep them or eliminate? Like, I didn't like all that. Look, whatever, but have a little decency about y'all, though. Have a little decorum. And so the 5 players get voted out: 180, 89, 40, 344, and 289. Now there's only 107 players left. That dropped quick. I think at the end of episode 1 for ours, we had 198 people left. And then after the second game, Dalgona, I think it wasn't a crazy ton of people eliminated. I think it was still like 120 or something like that. I definitely think it was like 120-ish. So then Viper and 361 sniff out 118 Janti because they said he was acting from his tears and whatnot. And yeah, they clocked this dude, man. Clocked this dude. But it was funny. This dude's providing entertainment. I love the entertainment, the wholesome entertainment. So, I would have laughed. I'm like, bro, this dude is a clown, just crying and faking all this stuff. Like, I would have been laughing, but they're taking it a little serious, and they're like, that's not right. I'm like, look, y'all, we got to get off our high horse and just laugh a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. Janti, I'm with you, man. And so the voice above gives the players a choice to either get their regular meal or pick a scratcher. So there's 2 lines. Pick your regular meal or get a scratcher ticket like you would play in Mega Millions up in here. And so about 15 people pick the scratchers. Now, I don't see why you would pick the scratcher. If you're trying to win the game, you do not pick the scratcher. That's just common sense. The reward this early is not going to be big enough for you to last in this game. Now, they apparently didn't watch Squid Game Season 1, the challenge, because it's the same thing as like picking the bribe for the food. Everyone who answered that phone didn't make it too much further past the phone. So like that phone was doomsday for a lot of people, and so picking the scratcher would be doomsday, and you're ostracizing yourself in a way that you don't even need to. It's not like you're volunteering for something. It's not like you're going up on the stand. You're just picking a scratcher card in hopes of getting some, which is like, come on now. Y'all seen Squid Game? At this point, they know they don't play fair. Like, they definitely gonna do it. But Peter, number 24, is the first to get the scratcher. Peter's funny. He's funny. He keeps saying, "Oh no, oh no," and so he gets the disadvantage because it's just the time they gave it to him. And he said his girl's gonna be pissed, and everyone else is winning prizes. Donuts, pizza, maybe a cake. Yeah, people was getting them food, and then the girl with the pink hair is the last one. She's just sitting on the floor talking to herself, and we meet her. Her name is Samantha, and she is the middle child. And she said it's some sob story about being a middle child, and like this, then look. I'm not here with the sob stories anymore, y'all. I'm done with the sob stories. I respect the fact that some people had brain tumors and whatnot. That's a serious deal, and I think you should talk about that. But these sob stories about being a middle child, you're reaching. You're reaching, coach. Like, let's calm down. We don't all need a sob story when we go in the confessional room, okay? Like, just talk about something else. Like, it just gets old. And so she says she gets a disadvantage for the next game. Unfortunately, I wonder how many people got this disadvantage. They only showed them 2, but I feel like there was another one. But she says, no. So then it's the people are finally talking about getting the twins out, finally. And 272 and some other people are talking about that as well. And soon we meet Peter a little bit more. 24. He's a stand-up comedian. He said his mom married 2 different Pentecostal pastors. This dude is hilarious. I need to see your stand-up, Peter. I need to see the stand-up. And 100, Mark is soon talking about Star Wars Con. I was just at Comic Con. Comic Con can be lit. It can be lit. I wonder if he was at NYC Comic Con. But definitely, I didn't know there was a Star Wars Con. I did not know that the lore was that big. Now, I've seen all the movies, not the new ones. I still haven't seen 8 and 9. But 7 just didn't catch me like I wanted it to catch me. I'm just going to be quite honest. I'm tired. I didn't like Ren too much. But shout out Star Wars Con. And so soon it's time for the second game. And they walk into a room and they're supposed to pick one. They see 4 squares. rectangles: yellow, purple, light blue, and pink, and they must pick one of 4 dots in the colored boxes. Now, there's not dots for everybody, as we soon find out. Another glitch in the system. So everyone picks their dots, but Janti taking a risk. Now, this is the type of risk that you could possibly take. I don't think, we don't know what they would do, but it would be hard to believe that they would just eliminate somebody for not having a box after they just did these vote outs and whatnot. I could see them doing that, but that would be lame and lazy as well. But I guess that's the theme of this season. But they did not do that this time. They said that they get to it. They don't have to play the game. So Janti was right. He was on his intuition, coach, and his intuition was right on the money. And yeah, them 3 they're safe from playing the game. However, there's always a catch. As everyone walked into the room, the 3 players must select a player to play on their behalf, basically give their soul to this player. It's like if this reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! When, if your soul goes into the shadow realm, like Merrick's soul was in the shadow realm, but not Merrick, but Merrick, Yugi, Bakara, I think that's his name, Bakara, with the white hair. They actually had 2 souls in one body. So it's like 2 souls in one body. And I wish they missed this opportunity where if they had like the person who's playing the game, but then like a dimmed shadow version of the other person who they're playing for, like above them or in their head or something like that. That would have been funny. If you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I'm talking about. But yes, so they must pick players, and if the players lose, then they're eliminated as well. They go into the shadow realm, just like Yu-Gi-Oh. But so 111 picks 437, 118 picks 152, and 82 picks 383. Each group must line up on colored dots. So the next game is throw the ball and catch it. Basically, it's called catch. Simple. Each group must line out in colored dots and throw the ball to the front of the line. And then once the person who throws it, they're safe. And if the ball is dropped, the person who threw it and the person who tried to catch it are both out. There are 16 balls, and once the game, it's either everyone catches the balls or 16 balls have been used and the game is up. So that's what it is. And it starts off where the person's close is about 2 feet, maybe 3 feet away, really close. And then I think the furthest one looks at least 50. It's like you're gonna have to like toss it, coach. But it's a tennis ball that they're throwing. And so there's all different strategies. So Yellow or Viper, who's on the yellow squad, comes up with a good strategy to put the weak players up front so that the throwers won't want to throw to them. That's a quality strategy. Let those people who might not catch it, they can get at it's a double advantage for the quote unquote strong people who can catch it, because if the weak people are up front and they drop the ball, that's actually good for you because that's a one less ball. They're out on your team and you're further back. So like if you do get to you, then good luck. But it gives you a better chance if in the first matter of if they run out of balls. Now, the danger in that is, what if these weak people catch it? Actually, no, that's not a danger, because the weak people catch it, then you're safe. You're safer for a longer time. So that's a great strategy. I think that's a great strategy. He put himself in the very back, and if you're in the back, there's a very, very low chance that you have to catch this ball. So I like that strategy, coach. He's definitely on one with that. And they say that if they put the front, wait, what did they say? 272 says, okay, that was Viper's strategy. One other team says they want to put their strong players up front to get the easy throws in. I don't know about that strategy, coach. That's not a good strategy, because if you get the easy throws out the way with the people who can catch the ball, why would? What about the people who aren't good at catching? You're going to put them in a bad situation when it's time for them to catch. That's not the right strategy. That is a horrible strategy. So whoever came up with that was not thinking on their toes. But the strong people are like, yeah, let's do that. I would have been like, yeah, let's do that. Put me up front. I would have been like, boy, y'all just played yourself. Another team is trying to make people scared because of a person in front of having a fake condition. Now that could work in retrospect, and you bluffing and saying, I'm not going to catch it if you throw it to me because I don't want to play anymore. That bluff could work, or like, oh, I'm nervous, like I don't want to throw to them. But come on, coach, like let's be real. That's a very risky move you taking now. I mean, you're playing with fire and morals and values when you come with that strategy. Um, and then another team, 272, says the one throwing the ball is going to judge who is going to catch it. So if they put Mark, number 100, up in the like front middle section, and no one will want to throw to him because they'd be worried that he's going to drop it. And he says, they're going to judge you, man. They're going to judge you. They're going to think you're weak. They're going to think you can't catch it. But that's just what people do. They judge, and you just come off like that. I'm like, bruh, I understand what he was saying. I definitely understand what he was saying, but bruh, you got to be delicate with people's feelings like that. People are not robots. We are people. So you can't completely talk to people like that. Like that was kind of crazy to me, coach. Like I was kind of like my jaw was kind of on the ground when he was saying that because it was like, bro, like I could hear it through the TV, the silence and awkwardness. And I get it, bro. Like I get it that what he was saying. I do understand. But for everyone else to understand that too, and everyone's emotions are heightened in this state, and you just have to kind of read the room a little bit. He just didn't do a good job reading the room. But I definitely understand. It's kind of like, if you put, I don't know, if you played football and you're doing the kickoff, but you're on the kickoff return team in the front line, and you look at people's eyes and you find somebody who's like shivering like this, well, you're judging them and you're gonna go after them. That's the name of the game. But unless that's part of a strategy to get blown up, and then you're gonna get blown up and bring them down with you, cool. If you can do that, I see the strategy, but you can't go up to the player and say, "Hey, you're weak. We're gonna put you here because you're vulnerable. People are gonna want to come after you just to get a hit off, and then that'll save us because you're weak and because you're scary." Like, nah, you can't talk to people like that. Like, that's gonna shut them down, bro. Like, you can't do that. But I understand what he was saying. But it was tough. It made him cry. It was a rough scene. And everyone heard him too. So player 17 is the first thrower since she has the lowest number. And so they start throwing very simple throws at the first, and the twins end up in the front somehow. Coach, I don't know what is going on. I don't know who is going on. I don't know how it's going on. But these twins got a lock on the game right now. Something they got a cheat code or something like that. I don't know if they got the GTA pass combo in the back pocket or something like that. But something is going on. Because how the hell they get in the front? How the hell they get in the front? So ridiculous. They save each other, of course, but then they're going through their whole line. But then the 4-3-1, I believe. 4-3-1 is like, I'm not throwing it to him. I'm making an easy throw. I'm like, wow, bruh. You scared to throw it like 5, 6 feet, 7 feet? You think this dude ain't gonna catch it? And this dude was hot, 98. He was cracking me up. Now he's a Brooklyn cop, so he was cracking me up, but he was not playing, bro. He was like, "Look, you better throw to me with confidence. I'm playing." Like he was not. He's like, bro, you gonna throw me this ball, or we gonna have problems. Okay, I'm in law enforcement, and I will come after you in Bristol, UK, all the way from New York. So you better throw me this ball. He was not playing. He reminds me of Dan 204 from our season 1. A little bit. Dan wouldn't play that either, man. Dan wouldn't play that either. But that was the funniest scene of the episode because he just kept saying, "Be confident, be confident." But he eventually gets him to throwing the ball. He catches it. See, easy. Shout out 98, man. Shout out 98. And so blue line is going. Blue line gets maybe like 10 people safe. And then now the other lines are getting through. And then it's all hunky dory and dandy. Everyone's making it until 98 throws it to 351, who drops it. And they're both out. So ball number 2 is in play. So 109 is already crying. Already. And so player 352 is up, who had the disadvantage. 24 says his aunt used to date Derek Jeter. 24 funny, bro. I got to see his comedy. But she gets a disadvantage, and the disadvantage is a super small ball. It's like this size of a ball, way smaller than a tennis ball, but it's still like catchable. It's not like if it was like this big, I thought the ball should have been smaller than that because that was a disadvantage, but that wasn't like the biggest because she was still up close. So yeah, he said he catches it, and then he promised to date with his sister from the guy. That was funny. But said 272 decided. So 272 is up, our friend who made 100 cry, and he decides to throw it to this old man. And he's playing around jokingly, like he was just chilling. But then 264, who he threw it to, dropped it. I was like, dang, bro, that's karma right there, bro. Like, you definitely dissed this man. You know, you're the first one. You're the one. You're out before him. And you were calling him basically like weak in front of everybody. It's just the guy that had decorum, bro, and that came back real quick. So ball number 3 is in play, and 3-8-3 passes, and so 80, and then so 82 passes. Yeah, 3-8-3 pass, so 82 who's not playing passed. And so soon it's time for Mark, and they're gonna throw it to Mark. It's time for him to catch it from this lady. She's like, "I trust you." He's like, "I trust you." And so it's time. It's real dramatic. 4-4-3 has her eyes set on him. I don't know why she only went with him. I mean, maybe he's the only seemingly catchable person left or the closest. I don't know. But it's time for Mark to face his fears and catch this ball, and she throws it now. She throws it, and it looks a little short. It looks a little short, so I think he's going to have to die for this ball. But we leave on a cliffhanger, and that is it for episode 2. That's where we're left off. So yeah, so episode 1 and 2 were interesting. I gave episode 2 like a 6. It was a little bit more entertaining. But starting off very meh to me this season. Like, I think you just need something to capture the people off the bat, and the beginning just wasn't captivating enough by just eliminating everybody for nothing and playing a silly counting game. You know? I just think you could be more creative with that. You could add way better dynamics. We could introduce more players. Like season 1, I feel like we introduced a lot of players early on. And I feel like I still barely know anybody. Like hardly. I know Mark and I know the twins. I knew 272 when he was around. Viper a little bit. And 118 Jaunty. And that's about it, really. And the mother and the father-daughter. That's about it. That's about it. And so we'll see. After 2 episodes, knowing like 5 people, it's kind of crazy. But shout out to them. They getting their screen time. And we'll see what happens to episode 3 and 4. I think he's going to drop it. I do not know yet, but we will find out. But let me know what y'all thought of the episode. Just like it, just love it, just hate it? Or did you think like me? And I was like, meh. But y'all, we out of here. It's time to go to bed. And it is time to check out episode 3 and 4. I will see y'all on the flip side. We out here, y'all. Peace, blessings, deuces. And as always, have a great, great rest of your day.